Hello everyone, this is Devamitra from PCS Computer Solutions Global Private Limited. Hope you guys are doing well, right? So guys, in my previous sessions, I've talked about so many things. I've tried to provide you the best knowledge about life, about career. How you can write down one professional resume, what are the things you need to be in a major interview, how you can prove yourself in an organization, what kind of decorum you need to follow to work in an organization. So I've tried to provide you the best knowledge as per my knowledge. So in my today's session, I'm going to talk about something that is very interesting as well as informative also. That is 30 skills every IT pro should know. So what are the skills that IT pros need to know? Today I'm going to describe it. So guys, let's get started. So no matter which IT field you are working in, there are several skills that are useful for every IT professional to know. Here are some of the experienced IT professionals working in the networking, programming, project management, and security field. So, right now, I am going to share what they believe are the most important skill that every IT pro should have. The first thing you need to know that is programming. Even if your job doesn't require software development, it's useful to understand how applications are built because everything we do from following Twitter feeds to filling on out expense forms is enabled by software. IT professionals with an academic background in computer science will likely have done some programming as part of their education. For others, there are many ways for learning the programming. Okay, learning from the book The Mythical Man Month. Publisher edition Wesley Professional describes the book The Mythical Man Month as influential and timeless. Originally published in 1975, author Fred Brooks shares his experience as project manager from IBM System 360 computer family and then from OS 360, its massive software system. Brooks made several mistakes, including adding more workers to a project, falling behind schedule, and underestimating the time it would uh, take to complete a project. The book was republished in 1995 with new thoughts and advice from Brooks. So, uh, Harvey says it's like 100 things your mother told you. I still made some of the mistakes after reading it. But if you read the book, maybe you won't make the mistake or you will recognize that you are making them and know when to stop. Okay. So the next thing, understanding the basics of networking. The network is how everything connects and every IT pro should know how that happens, says George Morton, a dual CCIE Cisco certified network expert. So Morton says IT pros should study and understand the following. So who is Cisco, Jupiter, etc. And what do they offer? Knowing that they'll make switches won't get you to the top of the game. Okay, says Morton. So TCP, IP, and IP addressing, network address translation, and port address translation. IPv6. It is coming, and the sooner you get on board, the better for your career. Morton says. IP telephony, packet versus switch. What are routers, switches, and firewalls? Basic as access list configuration for Cisco. To be able to read a Cisco IOS running configuration, not so you administrate the router, but just understand what it is or isn't doing for you. Be familiar with guidance from the National Security Agency's information assurance for securing your network. Morton recommends several books like Cisco Networking Simplified, a first-class introduction to networking. Cisco iOS Cookbook, second edition. This book should be on every IT manager's desk. I use it to build some of the world's most complex networks. Why? It's easy to read, create standards for the client, and covers almost everything I need. So the fourth thing, no security-based practices within your IT discipline. Given the businesses are moving or have moved aggressively towards relying on online digital resources to conduct their day-to-day operations. It is critical that those resources stay highly available and secure. JMC Hari PCIe, a security consulting systems engineer at Cisco, explains without exception the IT discipline that you choose will have security risks associated with it. To be successful and at your discipline, you must be aware of what those risks are and what the best practices are to lower those risks. You must understand the risk, benefit, trade-offs as well as you can make the right business decision and apply the proper amount of security controls. Too much security is just as bad as too little. So with too much security, it is likely that your users will view your IT services as unusable. With too little security, you open yourself up to attack and risk great damage to the company, customers, and the brand name you work for. Security is a balancing act that you need to understand. Okay, so at least a high level for your specific job role. For network security, you can implement security controls like firewalls, virtual private networks, VPNs, intrusion, detection, prevention systems, that is IDS, IPS, etc. For Windows Server security, you can implement controls like strong password, expiring password, disk encryption, antivirus, etc. For email security, you can implement anti-spam, antivirus, anti-malware engines that stop the mail before delivery. Okay, so every IT discipline will have its own set of security based practices that should be adapted to decrease your risk of being compromised by a hacker. The benefits and the caveats of capital expenditures. So, IT is a capital intensive business and all IT people should understand the process of capital investment. So, Michael Morris says CCIE, CCD, Cisco Certified Design Expert, a communications engineering manager at a, a 3 billion high-tech company. He says IT makes huge capital investments. Capital investments are purchases like servers, network gear, software applications, okay, that are bought with cash but are categorized as assets. The actual cost of the purchases is not incurred immediately. Instead, this cost is expense in the form of the depreciation generally over 3 years. This provides the IT organization the ability to buy equipment now, but doesn't cause a huge impact to the company bottom line. So this is good because companies can get what they need immediately. So the problem is that these costs are now fixed costs and cannot be avoided. Every quarter, a portion of the cost of that new server you brought a year ago will hit the book. So budget and the company's expense also. If the company economy gets worse, this cost cannot be avoided. So companies must find other costs to cut. This other cost called variable. Okay. Costs include employees who are often the first to go. Capital spending is a balancing act. It is needed and provides a great way to spend our costs, but can lead to tricky situations when hard choices have to be made. IP addressing. At the root of almost all online communications today is internet protocol. At the heart of IP communication is IP addressing. So, Jamie had explained that knowing how IP addressing works is crucial knowledge for any IT professional. Every host, server, router, firewall, and network devices must have at least one IP address assigned to it in order to communicate with other network hosts and devices. Okay. If you assign IP addresses incorrectly, not only will the device not be able to talk and the network, but you could also do harm to existing network devices. An IP address is a numerical 32-bit numbering scheme used by the IP protocol for identifying where something is. In many ways, an IP address is analogous to your house address. For example, to send a letter to someone, I first put my return address on the envelope, and second, I put their house address on the envelope. The source IP address field in an IP packet is just like the return address on an envelope. Okay, it defines who sent or is sending the data packet. The designation IP address field in an IP packet is just like the house address on an envelope. It defines to whom I want the data packet to go. Okay. So an IP address is represented in dotted decimal notation. Four numbers from 0-255 that are separated by a decimal point. The IP address itself is broken up into two parts, the network address and the host address. The network address is very much like a zip code on the envelope. It provides the general area to deliver the message to. Okay, the host address portion of an IP address is very much like the house number and the street address on an envelope. It defines exactly what location to deliver the message to. The post office will quickly short mail based on zip code. Okay. So, Paul and TCL. Jimmy Ray, person, network engineer at Cisco and technical co-host for Cisco TechWise and BizWise TV, believes all IT pros should understand and be able to write a simple Perl or TCL script. The entire world of networking opens up to an IT pro who can write even the most basic of scripts. It is easier to learn than IP subnetting. Okay, and there are many great free resources on the internet to learn it. So he says, he points to two useful resources called Scripting 101 and TCL Scripting 101. Then using the OSI model for network troubleshooting. Networks are built on OSI, Open System Interconnection Difference model. So a 7-layer stack where control is passed from one layer to the next. Having an understanding of the model will enable you to better troubleshoot networking problems. As Michael Peterson, co-founder of network monitoring company Plixer International, explains below, Peterson maps the 7 layers to the related troubleshooting questions. The first one is physical layer. Do you understand the topology? Is the user plugged into the network? Data link layer. The second thing is data link layer. Can the technician use a packet analyzer like Wireshark? Network layer. The third one is network layer. Does the tech understand IP logic and subnet mask? How is the packet routed on the business network? Transport layer. The transport layer is how does TCP, transmission control protocol, operate versus UDP, user database datagram protocol. Is it an ARP address resolution protocol packet on an IP frame? Okay. Then the fifth thing is session layer. Can the user connect to or ping to the server? What is the timeout for idle connections? Presentation layer. Does the tech understand basic HTML code, SNMP and ASN.1? The next thing is application layer. The tech may not understand the application, but he or she should understand how applications can impact the network. The technician should also be able to set up net flow on Cisco equipment or the industry standard S-flow to capture traffic data for analytical purposes. The next thing is packet sniffing. Before You even use a packet sniffer, a network monitoring tool for network troubleshooting. Understand how to set it up. This means understanding the impact of the NIC network interface controller on accuracy and performance when to use a PAN switch port analyzer. Port over a tap test access point and vice versa. And when to TCP dump the technical over where Shark says Jimmy Ray person, you will need to understand the various startup options and how to configure the Berkeley packet filter to clean up your packet stream here. So the next thing is Google is your friend. IT infrastructure expert Rocco, he didn't want his full name to reveal, says don't be afraid to ask for help. Oftentimes, Google is your best friend. Rocco says, I have a best friend. Okay, I have a real tough time remembering acronyms. A quick link to a current list is always helpful. So, Google is your best friend. A business developer guy asked me to set up a LAMP server for testing. This is how I remember the definition of LAMP. Okay. So the definition, if I talk about the definition of LAMP, is like that: Linux, at first Linux, then Apache, then MySQL, then PHP. That is called LAMP. So what is Linux? Linux, I don't set up Windows servers anymore. So of course it will be Linux. Apache, come on, get real. Is there really an alternative to Apache? M for MySQL, well, I am not paying for Oracle unless I really need to. PHP, it's been a long time since I set up Apache without PHP. So Rocco adds, he could have asked me to set up a web server and database and receive an instant answer. But instead, he threw out acronyms he probably didn't understand. So create a good PowerPoint presentation. All IT professionals from BPS to individual engineers need to be able to construct a logical and visual appealing PowerPoint presentation to communicate to other people. So suggest Michael Morris, and don't think you can get away with black and white PPTs with page after page of bullets. Use of a slide master template along with proper logos and colors are a minimum. Morris says proper use of charts, models, and diagrams will also enhance your message and engage the audience. And remember, when presenting to anyone more than 2 positions above you, like the CIO, you need to condense your presentation down to their slides. Okay, if you can't get it into 3 slides, it's too confusing and too much for an executive. So consider yourself as a PPT expert when you can create visually engaging presentation with proper corporate logos and colors using a variety of tables, charts, and models in only 3 slides. Next thing is keep your email under control. It is easy to be overwhelmed by your email inbox, but being 2000 emails behind is just not acceptable these days, says Michael Morris. For most companies, email is the primary communications medium between people and especially groups. Being 2000 emails behind and complaining you can't catch up is a poor excuse. Today, there are filters, organizers, alerts, webmail, and these new technologies or new things can call BlackBerry. Stay on top of your email. No excuses, please. So, last but not the least, know why network delay is bad. Almost all traffic that runs across networks today, including the internet, uses transmission control protocol, that is TCP request and acknowledgement. From time to time during data transfer sessions, when TCP reaches a point where it stops sending traffic and waits for a ACK from the other end of the TCP session. Only after an ACK is received does the data transfer start again. So Michael Morris explains in this setup when the user and the server are right next to each other, So the ACK arrives in very, very short time. This creates a very short pause in the data algorithm. Okay, the TCP data transfer session. The TCP algorithm can then ramp up the data transfer rate to near 1 Gbps. Okay, so however, when the distance between user and server is great, it can take a while for an ACK to reach the server. It could take 300 ms to go from the US to India over a one. So when 300 times longer than when user and server are in the same building. Thus, the data transfer pause is much longer. TCP's algorithm that can only send traffic at a much slower rate, which impacts the performance. So, all IT people should understand the simple paradigm. As network delay increase, data transfer rate will fall. So, remember this when your users in Germany are saying the server is in California is slow in the morning. This is by no means an exhaustive list of all the skills that IT pros need to know. We would like your thoughts and what other skills you feel are essential today. So guys, these are the things I have tried to give you some idea. So if you wanted to make your career proper in IT, you need to know all those things. These 13 things is very important. So kindly prepare yourself and be a part of this IT industry. In PCS Global, what we do, we are providing the training in Java DevOps, we are providing the training in Salesforce, as well as we are providing the training in data science, Python, AI as well. So if you're a candidate who wanted to see yourself as a ready candidate for IT market, we are here to help you. More than 1,500 plus candidates has already started working in another MNCs who have started their career with us, and right now they are working in another MNCs very successfully. So if you are a candidate who wanted to see yourself as a proper successful professional people, so you need to follow what we are doing, and you need to get the proper knowledge about technologies. You need to groom yourself, and to be the part of the IT industry, you need to upskill yourself also. So in PCS Global, we are providing the training in EILP program, that is Employee Internship Learning Program. We are providing the training in CILP program, that is our another internship program. So if you wanted to start your career through PCS Global, kindly communicate with us. Our HR persons are very helpful. They will give you all ideas about how you about the technologies, about the training process, about the internship process also. And this EILP process is employee internship learning process, and this program is not like only internship. I received one text from someone that is it only internship? No, it is an employment internship program. It's very clearly defined. When if you have attended our sessions, you know that what is EILP. EILP is a process in where we provide the training after giving you that employment. We provide you the training about the technologies, and this is 60 days stringent full stack training. So guys, if you wanted to start your career through PCS Global, kindly join our both of our processes and get the best from our side. So this is for now, guys. Kindly subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, and do comment. Bye for now.